A monk stared into a candle flame for 12 hours a day, but what he saw almost drove him insane. The ancient practice of Tritaka doesn't just boost focus. It opens gateways in your consciousness most people aren't ready for. Brother Thanga was perfectly sane when he entered the Rongbuk monastery in Tibet. For 3 months, he practiced Tritaka 12 hours daily, staring into flickering yak butter flames. By week 6, geometric mandalas exploded behind his closed eyelids. By week 10, shadow entities with crystalline eyes materialized during his sessions, communicating through pure light frequencies. They followed him everywhere, to meals, to prayer, even into his dreams. The other monks found him in his cell, rocking back and forth, whispering, "They won't stop teaching me things I'm not supposed to know." But here is what terrifies me. Brother Thanga wasn't hallucinating. He was seeing exactly what this practice reveals when you push past the safety limits. Dr. Richard Davidson's team at Wisconsin hooked EEG machines to Tibetan monks in 2004, expecting typical meditation readings. Instead, they discovered something that made them question reality itself. These monks' brains were firing gamma waves at 42 Hz during Tritaka, identical to $15,000 neurofeedback machines. Sarah Chen, the lead neuroscientist, ran the tests 19 times, thinking her equipment was broken. When she realized the readings were accurate, she whispered to Davidson, "We're looking at a completely different species of human consciousness." 6 months later, Davidson's research disappeared from academic databases. The pharmaceutical industry couldn't let the world know that a $2 beeswax candle could replicate their most expensive treatments. Your brain produces these same gamma frequencies when staring at organic candlelight. But artificial LED screens destroy this natural synchrony completely. Think about it. Why would the $37 billion focus enhancement industry want you to discover that God already programmed the perfect brain trainer into flickering flames? Your smartphone pulses at 60 Hz, creating electromagnetic chaos that fragments attention like digital buckshot. But candlelight dances at 0.5 to 8 Hz, the exact frequencies that sync your neural networks into genius-level coherence. NASA discovered this and classified 1987 experiments. Astronauts exposed to artificial lighting for 6 months showed cognitive decline so severe they couldn't perform basic calculations. The space agency has been secretly studying flame meditation ever since. But they'll never admit why their billion-dollar LED systems are making astronauts stupid. Sarah Chen couldn't forget what she witnessed in Davidson's lab. 2 years later, she began her own Tritaka practice, documenting everything. After 8 weeks of 15-minute daily sessions, her IQ scores jumped from 127 to 143. But that wasn't the strangest part. During week 12, fractals began appearing during her session, rotating geometric patterns that seemed to download information directly into her consciousness. She solved coding problems that had stumped MIT professors for months, accessing solutions from somewhere beyond logical thinking. The mechanism behind this cognitive revolution lies buried deep in your skull. Nature programmed your brain with a secret eye that responds only to fire. The pineal gland sits at your brain's geometric center, containing actual retinal tissue despite being wrapped in bone and darkness. For thousands of years, our ancestors gathered around flames, their pineal glands bathed in flickering light patterns that triggered transcendent problem-solving states. The ancient organ produces DMT, the same molecule shamans use to communicate with interdimensional intelligences, but most people never activate it because artificial lighting keeps it dormant. Dr. Rick Strassman spent 15 years studying pineal DMT production at University of New Mexico until the DEA terminated his research in 2005. What scared them? Strassman discovered that specific light frequencies could trigger natural DMT release without any external substances. Imagine accessing ayahuasca-level consciousness with nothing but a candle flame and proper breathing techniques. But here is what Strassman never published. When you combine Tritaka with rhythmic breathing and the mantra, Sham vibrated at 528 Hz, the pineal gland resonates like a tuning fork, flooding your consciousness with geometric visions and entity encounters that feel more real than physical reality. Brother Thanga pushed this practice 12 hours daily without protection protocols. By month 2, he couldn't distinguish between the crystalline beings teaching him impossible mathematics and the actual monks serving him tea. The entities he encountered weren't hallucinations. They were intelligences from probability dimensions that intersection with human consciousness during specific brainwave states. This is why traditional yogis practice Tritaka for only 20 minutes maximum, always within protective salt circles and guided by experienced teachers who knew how to close the gateways when necessary. Sarah Chen learned this lesson when shadow parasites began attaching to her energy field during week 16. She'd see dark shapes in her peripheral vision, feeding off her fear and confusion. Only after consulting with Tibetan lamas did she discover the protection rituals that saved her sanity. Sea salt circles, black tourmaline crystals, and most importantly, never exceeding 15 minutes per session. The real danger isn't just psychological. Burning petroleum-based paraffin candles release benzene directly into your lungs while you're trying to enhance cognitive function. You're literally poisoning your brain during practice. This is why ancient practitioners used only pure beeswax or ghee flames, materials that burn clean without toxic fumes. But here's the secret that pharmaceutical executives pray you never discover. Just 10 minutes of proper Tritaka with a beeswax candle can replicate cognitive states that cost thousands in neurofeedback therapy. Your alpha waves synchronize at 10 Hz, creating relaxed alternates where complex problems become transparent. Theta waves at 6 Hz unlock intuitive insights that bypass logical limitations entirely. And gamma spikes at plus 40 Hz trigger the same flow states found in chess grandmasters and jazz virtuosos. The establishment buried this research because it threatens their entire business model. Why sell expensive treatments when people can access genius consciousness with fire and focused attention? Brother Thanga recovered after 6 months of guided rehabilitation, but he never forgot what the entities taught him. Today, he practices Tritaka for exactly 8 minutes daily, using protection rituals passed down through generations of Tibetan masters. He told Sarah Chen during her pilgrimage to Rongbuk, the doorway to higher consciousness isn't meant to be kicked open. It must be unlocked gradually, with respect for the forces beyond the flames. Your brain contains the same revolutionary programming that gave our ancestors superhuman focus around campfires, the same pineal gland that can produce natural DMT, the same neural networks that synchronize into gamma coherence when exposed to organic light patterns. The question isn't whether this ancient technology works. The question is whether you're ready to unlock cognitive abilities that most people will never access while staying safe enough to return to normal consciousness when the session ends. God programmed you to be a fire genius. The pharmaceutical industry programmed you to forget.